What does the Bible say about environmentalism? That's a fair question. So I'd like to make a few videos over the next few weeks that answer this question. Environmentalism, it's not a word in the Bible. You probably already knew that. But we can find verses relating to a similar principle. According to the dictionary, environmentalism is the philosophy or movement focused on protecting the environment or nature from destruction, especially from pollution. If you've read the Bible very much, several verses probably just popped into your mind that relate to this topic of humanity's relationship with nature or creation. If I could distill it down to just two verses, I think I'd pick Leviticus 25:23 and Matthew 25:40. So I want to read those to you. Leviticus 25:23, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation. It says, "The land must never be sold on a permanent basis, for the land belongs to me. You are only foreigners and tenant farmers working for me." Here, God is explaining to the Israelites in the Levitical Law that they are not the ultimate owners of the land. God is. And God's people, they work for Him. So this is the principle of stewardship. And this principle can be seen all throughout the Old Testament, and it carries over into the New Testament. As Christians, we understand that we're stewards of our money, of our time, etc. We're also stewards of the earth, of creation. And I'll get into this more in future videos. Now I want to read Matthew 25:40. "And the king will say, I tell you the truth, when you did it to one of the least of these my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me." How does this verse relate? Obviously, this is talking about the second coming, where Jesus will judge all the earth. Well, this relates to this topic through pollution. Pollution hurts the poor most harshly. They suffer the worst effects of pollution because they have the least resources to combat it. Air pollution causes more than 9 million premature deaths around the world every single year. 1 in 9 people around the world do not have access to clean drinking water. This is mostly because raw sewage and toxic waste is dumped unfiltered into critical water sources. Those of us in wealthy countries, we have an outsized portion that we contribute to global pollution. Here in the US, for example, we create about 15% of global CO2 emissions, but we only consist of about 4% of the global human population. As for clean drinking water, we don't necessarily directly contribute to water pollution in all the countries around the world here in the US. But our problem is what we're not doing about it. Okay? Access to clean drinking water, it's not something that baffles scientists or mystifies inventors. It's not a big problem. It's easily solved. We have the technology, we have the resources. It's simply a matter of will. So I came across a fascinating study that found that if all professed Christians in the United States paid just the 10% tithe that the Bible asks, then we would have enough money to solve global humanity's access to clean drinking water in the space of about 5 years. But that's not all we could do with that money. We'd have enough money to relieve global hunger, fully fund overseas mission work, and eliminate global illiteracy. And all of this we could do without taking away a single cent from the local church budget or from all the other projects that our tithes and offerings currently fund. So the most eye-opening result from this study was that in most church congregations, about only 25% of Christians even pay any tithe. And a large part of them only pay about 2.5% of their annual income in tithe. So the Bible may not mention the word environmentalism, and I know this topic is way over politicized. It's a very divisive topic. Just check out the comments section in social media or any YouTube video on the topic. I'm not here to debate your opinion on global warming or climate change or tree huggers. I just think that it's clear as Christians that we are supposed to care for the poor and protect the marginalized, those of us who have resources. And to me, that means doing something about pollution. Of course, we have to drive our cars. We got to buy things. But much of the pollution in the world has not been caused by meeting our needs. I'd say the majority is a result of wants, of selfishness, consumerism, materialism. So I'll end with this quote. The highest evidence of nobility in a Christian is self-control. Desire of Ages, page 103. So if you have other questions on this topic, please leave them in the comments below. I'd like to answer them in my upcoming videos. Well, those are just my thoughts. Have a good day.